Hello and welcome to the Mohit Show, General News, March 27th, 2021. I will be covering a few notable stories of the day. First, from News Atlas. A landmark brain cancer trial vaccine has passed the first phase of human trials. This phase tests if the vaccine will immediately cause notable problems. The future tests will include efficacy. Someday, we may have a vaccine for cancers. Next, from The Verge. Amazon denied accusations that workers were peeing in bottles, only to be immediately sent a large amount of evidence of workers peeing in bottles to avoid taking restroom breaks, as they were punished for that. Workplace regulation exists for a reason, and Amazon should not be allowed to escape it. Next, from Times of India. India is supplying more vaccines globally than it's giving to itself. This move will certainly improve international relations. However, India has its own problems to consider. For example, from Reuters, the Indian Novavax vaccine has its launch delayed to September. In more fun news from the Asahi Shimbun, scientists invent a way to painlessly inject vaccines. Don't be mistaken, however. This device uses a gunpowder charge to deliver the vaccination, making this a vaccine gun. This is cool. On the border, Ted Cruz documents how the crisis at the border is only getting worse. With a surge of 1,000 unaccompanied migrant children in federal custody camps, just this week. However, with this issue, we come to an important problem. From the New York Post, the Associated Press has a standards center, which sent out an internal memo telling reporters not to call the unprecedented surge of unaccompanied migrant children and the current administration's complete failure to handle it a crisis. The Associated Press and similar groups at this point basically dictate what articles are put out by the mainstream media. If you were wondering why so many mainstream media sources spew the same propaganda stories, these organizations are why. If you ever wonder why all the mainstream media uses all the same evasive language to avoid talking about things that go against the narrative, these organizations are why. They are controlling public discourse in the favor of partisan politics. In less relevant news from the Moscow Times, Russian police break up a week-long anti-5G protest. It is unfortunate that people devote so much time to nonsense issues when there's so much going wrong in the world. From Reuters, North Korea is stepping up its rhetoric, saying the Biden administration's action of condemning the missile tests the nation is conducting is the wrong step. Along with closer ties with China, North Korea seems to be moving away from friendly relations. Additionally, from Reuters, China is sanctioning additional US and Canadian entities in further attempts to stop inquiry into their genocide of the Uyghur ethnic minority. In Myanmar, from Reuters again, ethnic factions are saying they will not stand by if more are killed. In response, from Reuters, Myanmar security forces have killed over 114 people in the bloodiest day of the coup yet. Additionally, from Reuters, Myanmar security forces are planning on launching airstrikes against the previously mentioned ethnic groups. The situation is not looking good. Additionally, instead of doing anything, literally anything, against these horrific crimes, from Nikkei, Russia, China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Laos, and Thailand have sent representatives to the Armed Forces Parade Day in Myanmar. These are the same armed forces actively committing atrocities. In domestic news, from The Guardian, Oakland is launching a large universal basic income program. To start with, universal basic income, I believe it's an inferior system with a lot of problems, and it's also communism. I believe a negative income tax system with proper unemployment programs can address the same issues in a better way. I found a nice video that explains the system, and it will be attached as a card. However, that isn't the issue with this case in Oakland. What Oakland is doing is absolutely unacceptable. It is repulsive and horrifying to a point I cannot even comprehend that such an idea was put into action in the modern day. They are only giving monies to black family. They are doing this in the name of the Black Panthers. They are choosing to be explicitly racist and cause more racial problems in society. And they want you to go along with it. This news article is in glowing support of the action. So are countless news articles across the US and in mainstream news. Disgusting. Where is our society going? In other news, from the Daily Star, ISIS jihadis have murdered countless more people in the name of Allah, and they have seized a town near a huge oil development. Next, from Reuters, Iran and China sign a 25-year cooperation pact with billions flowing between the countries. I believe we know some of the players for World War III already. Next, from The Guardian, UK schools are in crisis after over 5,800 accounts of abuse have been published. This is a shocking level of corruption. Next, from the Daily Mail, Arkansas becomes the third state to realize putting individuals pumped full of doping chemicals in girls' sports is horrible for girls everywhere. Testosterone is chemically used for doping. Male to female transgender individuals have naturally higher testosterone levels than real women. Female to male transgender individuals literally have testosterone injected into them. Sports are gendered specifically because women have a harder time building muscle mass and strength, mainly because of lower testosterone levels. I hope more states implement such regulation. In less serious news, from Sky News, 25-foot-tall Southern American rheas, yes, those ostrich-like birds, are terrorizing the UK. They have a top speed of 50 miles per hour, and they have been seen attacking dogs and deer. Next, from the New York Post, Cuomo staffers have stopped showing up to work. While no one really cared about the thousands he killed during the early stages of the pandemic, the continued multiple sexual assault cases against him seem to be the breaking point between him and his base. Next, from Reuters, more Chinese celebrities and apps are joining in supporting the genocide the Chinese Communist Party is committing. However, our efforts seem to be working. From South China Morning Post, China seems to be begging fashion companies to use their genocidal cotton again. It seems companies are realizing they can get genocide-free Indian or Bangladeshi cotton instead of Chinese stuff, and they can even have it manufactured cheaper outside of China now. They simply need to move their manufacturing processes. Finally, from the Financial Times, the Biden administration has come out with concern over a Chinese invasion of Taiwan. An official stated, "As we prepare for a period in which Xi Jinping will likely be entering his third term, there's concern that he sees his capstone progress on Taiwan as important to his legitimacy and legacy. The official added, "It seems that he is prepared to take more risks." China is approaching as an unavoidable threat. China is no longer just a malicious country we do business with. They are becoming a serious threat to every free person on Earth, and a threat we must face. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. These videos need any help they can get in the algorithm. My sources are linked below. This has been the news.